I used my relationships as a means of hiding from my own purpose. Now, I used a multitude of things. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't just relationships that I used to hide from my purpose. I used career. I used jobs sometimes. I use miscellaneous activities or, I use a whole bunch of things. But relationships, more importantly, seem to be like my main go-to place to hide from my purpose. As soon as I would start getting attraction or traction, not attraction. Hello. As soon as I started getting traction or momentum towards my vision, my mission, my purpose, let's say I started creating content or I started doing this, I started doing that, I would somehow find myself into a relationship dynamic where I had to play the savior role, right? I would get right back into that savior complex that I was so used to, that comfort zone. And that's exactly what the relationships were for me. It was a place of comfort. And not the type of comfortable where you're like, oh, you're chilling, cushioned up. You know what I mean? One at a time, big coat, chilling. Like, I wasn't that type of comfortable. I was like in pain comfortable, uncomfortable comfortable, right? Anxious comfortable. Because I was still playing a role. I was playing a character that I had known since I was an infant, probably, since I was a child, a toddler at the very least. The mask that I developed at that point in time of being of utility, right? My worth is based in what I do for people. Therefore, I have to show up every single time being somebody and doing something, right? I always got to be washing dishes. I got to be doing this. I got to be taking care. I always got to be doing that. And these things validated me as opposed to me finding validity within my life purpose. I hid behind my relationships. And I was really only in one truly toxic. This was like the mecca of relationships that taught me everything I needed to know when it came to, the narcissistic or toxic relationship dynamic. But every other one it's like it was good. It was okay, right? And that's exactly where I needed to find myself. Because, Carrie actually shared with me, my homegirl Carrie Nicole, she shared with me what's called like the beta paradox, which is if something is bad but not too bad, you'll stay in it longer, and so it becomes more harmful. But when something is just terrible, like it's extremely dangerous and toxic, then you'll run from that as quickly as you get some common sense at the very least. And so I would find myself in most cases in something that was just bearable enough to stay in, but would still keep me hiding from my purpose. And this is actually something me and Coach Bobby Bluford talk about. Shout out to him. Make sure to check out his channel. This is something we talk about more often than not. And that is this thing of hiding behind tasks. Like it is so easy for us to hide behind something as opposed to stepping into our purpose. And in most cases, we hide behind a thing right next to our purpose, right? And that one is, I think, the most painful. Because for me, I spent 7 to 8 years as a digital marketer, though I was created or I was put on this earth to actually be in front of that camera or, be the one writing the book, not the one marketing the book, but the one writing the book and putting it out into the world, not the one, behind the content and managing and creating the content, but the one in the content. And so I was hiding behind this thing that was marketing at the time. And again, relationships in the very same way, we use them in a lot of cases to hide from ourselves. And in more cases than not, we use it to hide from doing the inner work. This might be a whole nother video for a whole nother time, maybe a video series, because we got to unpack that. But we hide behind these relationships. We use them as a means to not do the work. For example, if you are an author, right? You have an author within you. You've always wanted to write a book or multitudes of books. I believe every author has a multitude of books in them, right? You got hundreds of books in you, and hopefully you get out at least 50 of them into the world. Hopefully, right? That's my greatest hope. Hopefully you just get one of them. To be honest with you, I just hope you get at least one of your books so we can all be able to enjoy that work and it can make the difference it's supposed to make. But I hope for you get 50 plus. Now, you're supposed to write the book and you find yourself doing things in order to distract yourself. And you're distracting yourself, right? It's easy to kind of hide behind something and then feel, I got to be writing the book. I should be writing, right? You're cooking, you're doing this, maybe at the job, but then you come back home, you're scrolling, but you think to yourself, oh man, I got to write that book. The reason why relationships are so effective as hiding places is because they are almost a justified reason to not step into your purpose. It's the same thing as like a family, kids. That's why kids are always used. Kids are like the biggest scapegoat for our purpose, right? Next to intimate relationships, it's kids. The reason I didn't use kids for this is because not everybody has them or the ability to have children, right? But if you find people with some kids who, let's say, have unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled purpose, they will at some point get to, well, I just had kids, right? I had to take care of my children. I had to stay home for the kids. I had to work double. So I had to work double for the children, and I had to stay home for the children, right? It's always about the daggone kids. However, when you're in a relationship, you get that very same kind of scapegoat energy. Me and the wife, me and the hubby. Me and Bae got to, I can't really do it right now. I got to spend time with Bae. Me and Bae haven't really spent time together. Like, y'all spent daggone every day together. Talking about, we ain't really got the time. Like, please, be in love. Please, I am all about healthy, dynamic, relationship dynamic. I'm all about that. If you go through at least half my content, that's really what it's geared towards. But outside of that, when you look from the outside in, all you see is, man, this dude right here, he's dodging his purpose. This chick, she's supposed to be opening up the business. She talked about the business getting the LLC 7 years ago. And now she's in another relationship and she's hiding behind dudes. Like, oh no, well, then she's supporting his thing. Like, I got a homegirl, we were having this discussion where it's like, I'm going to be his support. I'm going to be his rocket fuel, as opposed to, now she realizes she is the rocket and the fuel, right? But I'm going to be their support now. So now you're hiding behind that and their aspiration, whatever they got going on. But it's a relevant hiding place for us. It's an effective hiding place for us. And it's a dangerous hiding place because you can hide behind that relationship almost indefinitely, right? If that relationship perpetuates and persists, and if it is, let's say, just a good enough relationship to where y'all just carry on the years, you're going to find yourself 40 years down the road. We spent this time together, and I'm so happy for y'all. Again, I want that. I want everybody to have the last in this relationships. But if you're not fulfilling your purpose, I promise you can't bring your absolute self into that relationship dynamic. Like, if I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which I wasn't in those relationships, I was bringing maybe an iota, maybe I say like 0.5% what I was living at. Now I think I'm living at about 0.9%, moving to the 1 percentile of my true potential, right? But back then it was about 0.5 on average, and I was okay with that. And frankly, they were okay with that. Well, they seemed to be okay with it. But internally, I was not okay with that, right? Internally, I continued to have this pestering feeling that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. And so I would project it onto the relationship. I'll project onto relationship. I would, use that excess energy or excess mental bandwidth into the relationship. And so I started to make the relationship the project as opposed to making the projects the project. Like, you're supposed to be writing the books. That's what doing me guilt-free is supposed to be done right now. But you're using the doing me guilt-free energy to put into everything else that your partner's got going on. Savior complex. Then you find yourself with people who need to be saved, right? That's how that dynamic works. That's how the universal law of attraction works. I don't write the code. I just disseminate it. I don't create the rules. I just teach them, right? So, I really hope my intention and my desire with this specific message is that we start to at least investigate why it is that we do what we do. Like, let's be honest. Let's be real with ourselves. I think that generation of we just gonna hide. I think that's got to go. Like, that's dissipating. That's on its way out, right? We're stepping into a new era, a new age, a new space of consciousness. And we really have to start saying, why am I getting in this relationship? What is this relationship actually about? Is this two people who desire growth and expansion? Or is this two people trying to hide behind one another and stay comfortable while they're miserable at the same daggone time? What is this really about? And when we can start to ask those questions, those answers are going to be revealed naturally. The subconscious stores all things, knoweth all things, is going to tell you, hey, the reason why you were homegirl, the reason why you're in this right now is because you're hiding. The reason why you find yourself with somebody you always got to save is because you're hiding. You want a place where you can put all your energy at. You want a space and a place where you can continue to put your energy at. That's what that's about, y'all. That's what that's about. And so, again, I find myself at a place now where I am no longer willing to because I'm so bought into my purpose and my vision. And you might say to yourself, I don't know what my purpose is. That's because you're hiding. The reason why you don't know what your purpose is right now is because you are literally not giving yourself even an iota, a chance, an opportunity for it to come up out of you. It's supposed to emerge from you. Your purpose is in you. It's not out there. You're not going to find it out there. You got to sit with yourself. When's the last time, instead of just sitting around and lounging with babe, when's the last time you sat in meditation by yourself? When's the last time you went on the phone texting babe, you're just by yourself, right? Or side babe. Hopefully it ain't side babe, but what probably over here with side babe. Like when did you just rest on this and get back to this? When's the last time you did that? And if it wasn't this morning or yesterday, there's a reason why you don't know what your purpose is. And I will close, well, almost close, by stating this quote, which I think is a brilliant quote. I think it might be Billy Joel, right? Old time singer, piano man, etc. And I think he is Piano Man. Yeah, he's Piano Man. He said, if you don't know what your purpose in life is, you should be spending every single day of your life finding out what that is, right? So if you don't know what your purpose is, you should be spending every single day of your God-given life, your natural-born life, finding out why you are here, what you are here for, what is your purpose, your bliss, your fulfillment, your deepest desire, your enlightenment. What is that thing for you, right? So that's almost closing. The real closing is this. I want to share my own gifting with y'all. My first published book, Doing Me Guilt-Free, is on the market. Cha-cha-ching. Make sure to get yourself a copy of one of these by clicking the link in the description below. I believe it should be an Amazon link that you're going to find in the comments as well as the description once you scroll past the actual describing of what this video is. So yeah, you're going to get yourself a paperback version of this so you can carry it around with you easy peasy. This is my big old manuscript version. The first like 20 that went out were like this size, but now you got your little paperback giant. But for now, I got to be out of here. So appreciate you guys for your time, energy, and attention. Namaste and namaskar.